Hello, everyone. This is Kimberly, your host with Keeping It Real. I am here with the Plant Society. Present yourself.
I am Casey Buckingham, and this is my business.
I love it. I love that so much. We saved ourselves some wine because why not, right? Like we need cheers. We need the super chill. So let's start off with what is your plant sourcing strategy? Like, is it locally grown, wholesale, specific growers? Like, tell me about that.
That's a good question. I have found success in sourcing multiple different suppliers. So some of the plants in here are from my own personal collection. I do wholesale from a few people in Florida. And then I also have some local people as well.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I kind of diversify, because some people only have like certain ones and I want to have a good variety.
That's amazing. That's lovely. Like you're just like, collecting from everywhere. And honestly, whatever works, right? Like I feel I used to work with some like plant supplies in area. So then it's like, I know it's hard to find these plants.
Yeah.
So kudos to you because it looks amazing and packed in here. Yeah.
Texas doesn't really have the tropical scene going on.
Yeah.
So.
With its weather going on, like, come on.
Like, I'm also like always on the hunt. Like sometimes I'll see someone local like selling a plant that I just know someone would like. So like Marketplace, love Marketplace.
Yes, beautiful. We love that.
But I think that just finding like as many different sources because you just stick to the local wholesaler, everyone's just going to have the same stuff essentially.
Agreed. Yeah, you're 100% correct. Yes. So what are the most popular plant varieties that you feel?
I was actually so surprised by this, but when I first opened the shop, I tried to get like kind of unusual, things I liked. Yeah. But I would say my most popular seller is the snake plant, which is like yesterday, the only plants I sold were snake plants. I think just because they're easy, a lot of people want like a first starter, low maintenance plant or something like for an office, and so they just fly off the shelf, and it's really weird.
No, that's honestly, I can see that. Like being in Austin and everything, I feel like we're all just working our regular like 9 to 5 and we barely even remember what to have like for breakfast. So then it's like, oh, my plant needs water. So yeah, I can definitely see that. But I love like the exotic like plants you have in here. Like which one's like around your favorite that you can think off about? You're like that one.
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a Monstera girly.
Okay.
And so the Alba Monstera, because it's just so beautiful and I mean, mostly rare, but like, it's just a take on like the quintessential Monstera, but with like the beautiful white in the leaves. I think that's my favorite.
That's gorgeous. No, yeah, definitely. Like, it's just like, I'm super basic. To me, it's like pothos. Like, it's like,
they can do their thing. They bind.
Yeah.
They're kind of hard to kill.
Yeah.
Although my brother did kill one.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That's insane. How did that happen?
He just like ignored it too much. Like I don't think he watered it. Like
you're just like, it's okay.
It's like it's not that hard. It was in his bathroom. I'm like, just plop it in the shower.
Literally, like let some water go down, make it rain, you know? That's amazing. That's wow. Okay. I haven't killed mine. On the right, we're on the right track. So, what sustainability practices are implemented in your business? Like, what do you usually like? Do you have any like studying or anything that keeps you on point to maintain all of the plants alive? Because
like a process to keep them alive. Oh my God, that's been the hardest part of this job.
Yeah.
Girl, like
literally,
you want to keep plants, but then you have to remember to keep them all alive. So, I would say like sticking to plants I know, and anytime I kind of branch out and get something unusual and realize it's like very needy, I try not to buy them.
You need
you're like a very good watering system, so I only have like one hose out back, and so I have like a mesh or like a wired table, and then I put them on like wired trays, and then just like water certain ones on certain days, let them drain out, and put them back because I don't know how to do it otherwise.
No, yeah, it's definitely
and
a lot.
I've killed a few plants for sure.
It's okay. It's not your problem.
Come back Wednesday, and there's like some really sad.
They're like, oh,
so I guess like try to get what I know.
Okay.
But still different things, so I don't lose money.
It's like, it's like that toxic relationship. You're like, okay, I know you, we're going to handle it, but then it's like, no, you know what? Let me go with something better. Yeah. Totally. I love that. No, definitely. Like, kudos to you because, girl, I feel like everybody can agree that it's really hard to maintain like plants. Like hundreds of plants. Like I can maintain one alive.
I actually had a nightmare the other night, and it was all just coming in here, and all the plants are dead.
Stop! Oh my goodness, that is horrible. Yeah. That'd be like thousands of dollars down there because I know plants are not cheap. So
like with the weather here too, and this is a really old building. I always have to worry about that, but I don't have a heater. So during all those freezes, I had to come in with like supplemental heat, so all the plants didn't die. But then the heat was like a little too strong for some. So I'm looking forward to summer and just, being able to run a little AC, but the winters were
where it was kind of
a learning process. Yeah, it's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. No, like you really do have a green thumb for this because what do you mean measuring like temperatures and everything?
It's a lot, but
you become Mother Nature. Yeah. That's so poetic. Honestly, that's so poetic. So, and how do you handle like plant waste or disposal? Like, what do you do? Obviously, it's a sad process, but how do you handle that?
Usually, I'll try to bring them back. So I have a greenhouse at home, and one of my first orders, I got all alocasias, which was so stupid.
Okay,
like. They don't travel well. They did not love life. It was winter. So, but they do come back a lot. Okay. So I pretty much will like take them home into my greenhouse and nurture them and try to, bring them back. And sometimes they don't. And then they join the compost.
But compost technically is good. So.
Yeah. So. And I have a lot of nursery pots that I try to recycle because everything comes in a pot and then people want to have it potted in a cool pot. So just trying to reuse everything and save everything
as much as possible,
the best of my abilities.
Well, you're doing an amazing job, like for sure.
It's like a great job. No,
come back! Don't die on me! Like I know you're gonna survive the next time. Yeah,
it's just the weather. Crazy, but it'll get better.
Yeah, it's uncontrollable. It's unfortunately that we can't handle. Like I wish, like literally Texas, it's so bad. Like. In the morning, it's like winter, and then in the afternoon, it's like summer, and then towards the night, it's like the wind is going crazy, and then
it's very all over the place.
Yeah, it's super bipolar, 100%. So, what are your plans for the future? Like expansion? Do you plan to like add another branch to this, or have you thought about it?
I kind of haven't. I really like having this little small space. I like enjoying what I'm doing without the pressure of like trying to scale and, eventually we'll get there. But I guess right now I'm just kind of enjoying what this is. This area of town as well is getting changed quite a bit. People are getting evicted. They're building condos. So I do always have kind of a plan B in the back of my head if, I'm not able to stay here. I would like to continue this, but I don't think I'm quite emotionally prepared for a second brand. But I would like a bigger space because it's like maybe 300 square feet in here. I don't know. And so it would be great to...
This is nice. I do like the fact that you're enjoying the journey. I feel like whenever I've talked to other small business owners, they tell me like, being at the starting point is the best point because you don't have to announce a whole like name change, announce a whole like you just do it, and the people who are following you are really appreciating like just like, oh wow, like this is going on and there isn't much you have to like worry about, So I mean that's amazing though that you're like enjoying, the journey and the process and you're really like grasping everything. And I understand by like, oh, like I'm not emotionally ready because girl, like I'm not emotionally ready to start anything.
It's like the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Like right now I'm like just trying to establish myself, get my name out, get good, I guess, relationships with customers, figure out how to keep them healthy plants. And then I think once that's kind of locked in, we'll start to grow, but I'm just not really there. I'm still at the base of the pyramid. That's
amazing though. That's what this is about, and when it comes to relationship with clients and customers, coming in, like I feel like you're great. Like, I remember the very first time I walked in here and you were just like smiley, like, I'm so ready. Like, you're in here. And I was like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, I love your spot. Like, this is so great. So, no, definitely, like.
You caught me on a good day.
Yeah. I had my coffee already. Literally. No, yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so great. Like, this is such a bright spot, mainly on this street, because I feel like it pops up so much. So like once, I jot down all your informations and everything and people drive by, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick it up and be like, okay, wow, like, this is amazing.
Being next to King B, it's like totally jet black exterior. So I wanted to be, have you seen on Pacific Coast Highway, there's like that Malibu house, the Barbie house and the black house. I feel like I needed a bright, colorful mural to like pop out.
Feel like I'm here.
Yeah.
Like,
We're like siblings that have like opposite tastes.
But that's what makes it work though. I feel like, so that's amazing that, you thought that outside of the box and we're like, you know what, like I have to show the world that I'm here and let me put this color. Did you have any like doubts when it came to like choosing the color for like the outside or how was that process?
I like told a lot of friends about opening the shop, and I said, it's next to King B, and a lot of people know King B, and they were like, there's something next to King B. So I knew I had to do something bright and bold. So I worked with Sarah. She owns Wildvine Creative. She does art and murals, and I just made a whole Pinterest board of kind of what I had in mind, and we worked together for a couple months, and she kind of nailed it with like exactly my vision. So she did the mural, and it was kind of like a process of us both figuring out what we liked.
That's awesome. So. The whole process line and everything. Like, I know for a fact I can be so creative, but then I feel like you're kind of that way. Like, it takes a lot, or somebody else needs to like take the idea out of my mind and put a picture and be like, this is what you want. Like, you're right. That's what I want. So no, that's amazing that you had a person, to help bring that to life and everything.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest challenges you face in running your plant business besides, maintaining them alive?
I would say probably it's very physical. Okay. I was a nurse for several years, so that's a very physical job, but for some reason this is way harder. I think just like getting like big boxes of plants and like pottery and like lifting, and that kind of segues into the second challenge, which is having no staff and running a business basically on my own. My husband has his own job and he'll pop in like a day a week to help, but like it is kind of just me. So I think that's the challenge so far, as well as not having a life outside of here. It's really hard to really like do anything yet, but we'll get there. I hope to get someone in to help around and then have a better life balance with this.
Work-life balance. Yeah, it's what we're all looking for. I understand literally. And I mean, it's great though that, like you point out, the sacrifices you've had to make this happen, make the stand and a reality. So that's really inspiring because like, I feel like everybody's so used to seeing like, oh, like you own a business and all the positives, off of it. But it's like, no one really understands. Like you can go out sometimes during the day because it's like, okay, I have to be here because like, this is my business. Like I have, like everybody, even when you get employees, I'm pretty sure you're going to be like,
that's a scary thing because I actually I'm very passionate about this. And I'm guessing I'll probably hire like a younger student, but I think about how I was as an employee as a student, and it's like, no. This is my baby, so it's kind of daunting to think of hiring someone that might not be a good match.
Yeah, have the same heart as you do towards this place.
It's a little scary, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's okay. You got this. It's a work in progress, and I feel like I don't know, from just meeting you, you're pretty good at delegating or something. Like, I don't know. I feel that vibe that you're so good. So you're good. So was there any negative talk from like your friends or family? Yes. Okay. Tell us.
More so friends. My family, they're always pretty supportive. My husband, I was doubting myself about it, and he was like, let's just do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, we'd lose money, but like, it's not like, we have investors. We used our savings to open this business. So it was pretty low risk as far as, you know, if it flopped, we wouldn't be like in debt of, you know. But I did have some weird comments from quite a few friends that were like, oh, you can't just start a business. You don't have a plan. Like everyone sells plants. You can get plants at Home Depot, you know, a lot of that. But I just did my best to use that as motivation to kick ass.
Inspiring.
Yes.
Inspiring.
You gotta turn that hate into like successful energy.
Correct. Yes. Correct. And I bring all that successful energy towards you. Like, because I feel like obviously once like you judge, once your biggest critic, like you're your biggest critic already. Yeah, you know? Exactly. So to have other people come and like start talking down on your ideas, and mainly people that you actually care about because they're your friends, you know, like I feel like that's really hard when it comes to people even thinking about starting a business. Yeah. So kudos to you for, you know, flipping that and deciding like, no, you know what, like I'm going to prove you wrong and I'm going to do something like boss girl, you know, it's giving boss girl energy. That's what it's giving. And that's what we need because like how are people going to get it? Like we wouldn't have had this shop in Austin if it wasn't because you thought about it and you were like, I'm going to pull this through. Yes. So keep at it.
You gotta put yourself out there, you know, and good things happen.
Literally 100%. It's because it's true. If you think positive things happen. Yes. I am a true believer in that. So like what, besides yourself, like what else made you step out of your comfort zone and like trust the process? Was it like, do you feel like your husband had a huge part in this, or was it mainly like you or your parents, or you saw an ad across the street and you're like, yep, I'm gonna do it?
That was kind of it. So I always wanted to do, well, not always. I always loved plants and wanted to do it, but kind of only started to try to implement it and make it happen maybe a year ago. So I went around everywhere looking for retail spaces, and they're really expensive. So at that point, there is a lot of stress to succeed and like meet your quotas. And then one day I was driving down 12th Street and I happened to notice a little like paper sign that said for rent. So I peeked in, and it kind of all clicked then, where I'm like, I don't know how much this place is, but it's not like a big corporate realtor. Yeah. My landlords work next door. Nice. I love that private landlord thing. Literally. So yeah, I guess that kind of got me excited, and it took a few months to even hear back from them, but I just kept pushing it. Like, hey, and like saw the vision when I went inside. That's not really answering the question though. That was me motivating that was me driving myself. You said someone else. Maybe no, it's okay though. You can be two people. Yeah. Like also honestly, one of my good friends, she kind of put the idea in my head in the beginning. She said, you know, why don't you open like a plant store? And I thought it was silly at the time. Yeah, no, like, that's good though. But yeah, so it was kind of that, and then like starting to kind of see creatively, like, yeah, this could turn into a plant store. Let's do it. And then, you know. And then executing it and making it happen. Yeah. So that's great though, that you have that supportive circle around you. Another thing I've also mentioned with like other business owners is like your community matters, you know, like if you interact with people who are just always like down and have like, don't motivate you, then you're going to feel down, you know, and you're going to be like, okay, you know, maybe you're right. And then you're going to doubt yourself. So look, that's amazing though, that you have that friend, you know, that motivated you and told you like, hey, you know, push through, you got it. You got it. Yeah. So what advice would you give to like your listeners or anyone that's wanting to start a business? Like what would you tell them? I always tell people, and I do have quite a few friends in the plant community that are like, oh, I want to open a plant store. And I always say, do it. Like, do it. There's so many plants out there. If I don't have something that you want, like you might have something that, you know, like it couldn't range so far. But I encourage people to try it. I mean, if you don't try it, you'll always regret it. If you do try it and it fails, at least you tried it. And if you do try it, there's a lot of do try it. If you do it and it succeeds, that's even better. I think that it's if you can make it happen, make it happen. We opened this business with about $10,000 and we did everything ourselves. Like that includes inventory, everything. So my husband and I kind of split into it that way and just got a bunch of white paint on clearance at Home Depot. And, you know, we didn't like hire anyone in except the muralist, but it worked. Like, you can do it. Just give it a go.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
That's good. That's honestly such great advice. Because everyone's so used to being in that comfort zone. So yeah, like stepping out, just doing it, putting your trusting your creativity to actually make your dream a reality, because one step can lead to like, it's a ripple effect, you know, like it can lead to a completely different life. And that's awesome. I love that advice. That's really good advice.
It's really fun too, if you're a creative person, to have a space where you can actually use that, because in healthcare, that's not really, it wasn't really my vibe as far as like expressing that creative side. And it's just so exciting to be like, oh, well, let's put these pots with this, or let's paint this wall green. And, you know, it's fun to be in a creative zone again.
No, yeah. Honestly, when you're stuck, because I'm pretty sure the healthcare industry isn't as easygoing, of course. No, like
I'm pretty very conducive to like artistic abilities, I guess.
So definitely, like going into this, like that's a huge change right there. Yeah. So kudos to you again for, you know, just being like, you know, like I'm gonna do this because I want it. It's gonna make me happy, and if it flops, it flops. If it doesn't, I did it, and that's what life is about, you know, like. Live life with no regrets, because you never know what happens like 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now. So it's like, that's amazing. That's good. Good. Yeah. So, like, how would you motivate someone to step out of their comfort zone? Like, well, how would you, what sentence would you tell someone if someone told you like, oh, like, I don't know, like, I'm just not motivated to do something, like start my own business or something?
Then I would say, well, why not?
That's honestly perfect. Why not? Like, why not? Like,
you want to do it. If you're just someone that wants to work for someone else and, you know, collect your paycheck, like, that's fine too. I did that most of my life, you know?
Yeah.
But if you do want to start a business,
like, why not? Yeah.
What are your, not boundaries, what's your blockades that are like things that are stopping you, I guess? And like, there's got to be a way to work through those, I guess. Let's you know.
No, let's do a pros and cons. Like, let's see what we can do. Break it down right now real quick. No, that's really great advice. That's amazing. Well, I am so glad, you know, that you accepted my request to create, like, record this podcast and to share, you know, just how you got started. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of skill and have the ability to start something, but they just are like blocked and they don't want to do it because they're too scared or something. And it's completely understandable. But I mean, I hope, you know, like this helps them in a way and tells them like, no, you can do it. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for literally making it happen, because I wouldn't be able to be here without you allowing me to be here. So thank you so much. I will. Sorry. Oh no. Keep going.
I was gonna say, I'm really flattered and happy that you actually did come in like as a customer and picked up the energy of the shop and wanted to interview me instead of just finding me randomly on Instagram. No. So it makes me feel good that you had a good experience.
Yeah, 100%. No.
And that makes me feel like maybe I'm doing something right.
No, definitely doing something right. Yeah. For every business that I'm interviewed or something, I've definitely just popped up out of nowhere. I'm like, hey, and then I see it. I'm like, okay, like you're it, you know? So yeah, amazing. I love this. I will leave your details and information in the comment section. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe, follow her. I'll be tagging her on my post. So thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you for allowing me to be here. And we'll see y'all at the next show.